So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen to this, it will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you want to listen to this in a still position, you can let yourself take all the time you need to arrive. Take all the time to fidget and adjust yourself, maybe do some neck rolls, or torso twists, or side body bends, cat-cows with the spine, just anything at all that your body feels called to do. And if your body feels called to stillness right away, then honoring that stillness whenever you need to. And there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But when you are ready, and if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, at any point you can allow the eyes to gently close if they aren't already. And you can mark your arrival to your practice today, into your body today, with a full intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, letting yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you as you just hold that for a moment to really experience this fullness. And as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. Just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to truly empty yourself. And then pause once again to just experience that emptiness as you allow your next breath to come as it's needed. And you can breathe just like that for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good to you. And at any point, whenever you feel ready, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether. And seeing if you can observe or witness your body breathing rather than having any direct influence over your breath. And beginning to bring some awareness to your own face. And even with the eyes closed, just seeing any expression that might be resting on your face right now. Any emotions that might be communicated by the expression on your face. Maybe some tension in the brow, some resistance in the jaw or nose. And from that point of awareness, letting that be all you need to instead soften these areas. Just allowing your jaw to hang heavy, allowing your lips to be soft, your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. And letting that sense of release naturally spread down your throat, into your neck and shoulders, as you just let your shoulders be heavy. Allow your nostrils to soften, the bridge of your nose. The cheeks spreading outward to the ears. Just feeling your whole nasal cavity almost open up just by surrendering any sense of holding in this area, even if it's just for a moment. Softening the eyes. First, just allowing your eyeballs to rest in the sockets, and allowing your gaze to rest wherever it naturally falls. Maybe on the backs of the eyelids, or maybe your eyes peer up into the forehead, or even roll back further to peer into the skull. So wherever it feels natural for your eyes to rest, letting them rest there. And allowing the eyelids to be soft. And if you imagine all those tiny little muscles along the lash line that usually scrunch up when you squint, even letting those soften as just the corners of your eyes get a little bit wider. Allowing your brows to soften and feeling the full depth of your forehead. As you feel the hairline release, and just watch as this sense of release, a sense of surrender, naturally trickles across the scalp, cascading down the back of the neck, the backs of the shoulders, and just the whole back body. And even allowing your brain to rest. Just letting your brain be supported by your skull. As you just start to bring some awareness into your heart. And just beginning to bring more and more of your awareness into this unique rhythm that is inside of your chest. And you can always place one or both hands on the outside of the heart to just encourage that feeling from the outside as well, if you want to. And just allowing yourself to sit in the reality of the miracle of your body, of your own heart. As you just remind yourself how this exact heart has been pumping life into you and through you from before you even took your first sip of air. From the time you were in your mother's womb up into this exact moment. And there is nothing in particular that you are doing to make your heart beat. This is just a pure and constant reminder of the gift that all of us have, which is life. And just paying close attention to how this heartbeat is connected to every inch of your body. Remembering your own anatomy and how this heart is physically connected through veins and vessels to every inch of you, from the toes to the fingertips to the tip of your head. And therefore, your heart is also energetically connected to these areas, to every part of you. And just allowing that power to naturally grow just by your acceptance of it, just by your awareness of it. And Just tracing the space between your heart and your head. And reminding yourself of this innate connection between your head and your heart. Following the heart up through the throat, into the brainstem, and into the brain itself. And this constant feedback between your head and your heart. There are times when all of us will find ourselves getting stuck in the head a little bit more. Maybe times where our mind just runs off with a thought, with a fear, and tries to almost convince the rest of us that it is helpful for us to focus on these fears. It's almost preparing us to handle anything. And there may be some instances where that is true. But when this feels like it is impeding on our own sense of peace with whatever is in our lives right now, can just take a moment to remind ourselves that our head does not have all of the answers. Our head is not all-knowing, and it is not always working in our favor. Even when our head is trying to help and trying to prepare us, sometimes that's not the most helpful thing for us. And if we can notice when our head is getting a little wrapped up in itself, we can just remind ourselves that our head is not just our head. Our head is also connected to our heart, connected to our entire bodies. And we don't have to rely solely on our mind to solve problems. In fact, sometimes our head can just spin problems so they feel unsolvable. So when you get into feelings or thoughts like these, it can be very helpful to instead bring a little more attention to your heart and just to your physical body, out of the world of the mental and into the world of sensations, of feelings, of instincts. And just trusting that on a deep level, you know all the answers to the problems that come in your life. Your instincts are trustworthy. And the more you pay attention to the heart and bring awareness to your own instincts and urges, instead of drowning them or rationalizing them with the mind, the more these problems can make sense or maybe even evaporate altogether. As we just remind ourselves that it is not our job to figure everything out, to rationalize everything in life. And that pursuit alone will drive us crazy. But it is our job to feel what happens in our lives, to experience our lives, to learn whatever we need to learn from whatever lessons present themselves to us. And these things happen on a more sensational level, on a feeling level. And just feeling a deep sense of trust with your life, with your journey. Knowing that it is there beneath all the doubt we might have with ourselves. There is trust present. And sometimes it can be really, really quiet. Or really small beneath all of our self-doubt and fears. But bringing awareness to it, no matter how small or quiet it might be, is what allows it to grow. Just reminding yourself of your own natural intelligence whenever you get a chance. Reminding yourself of your ability to trust just the facts of life. To trust that whatever happens to you, it's not a punishment. It doesn't say anything about your character, but it is simply just another reminder that you are human and that you will experience the range of human emotions, which includes pain and sorrow and heartbreak, as well as joy and love and laughter. And just giving yourself a break from trying to rationalize the tough things that happen in life. And just trust that tough things will happen and they will continue to happen. And allowing those experiences to feed into your strength rather than into your fear. So I'm going to read now some pages from Clarity and Connection by Young Pueblo. So you can just continue to listen and allow whatever resonates to just sink in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. How many times has your mind taken a small piece of uncertain information and spun a story around it that ends up consuming your thoughts? The mind is inclined to protect itself, but an attitude of defensiveness easily breeds anxiety. Out of caution, we fixate on uncertain information and create stories that can lead to unnecessary fear and mental tension. Taking a moment to notice when we are jumping to conclusions can save us from worry and grief. Through self-awareness, we can begin to notice when we are overthinking. The simple act of bringing our awareness out of the mental clutter of unreliable thoughts and back into the present moment. We can preserve our energy and decrease the friction we feel. To be clear, there is nothing wrong with protecting oneself. But it is helpful to observe how often we take a defensive stance. If we are only ever defensive, we are surely getting in the way of our inner peace. Too many of us project our old conditioning onto new situations. Reactions happen quickly and are based on past perceptions. They make it challenging to process what is happening in an unbiased and objective manner. If you want to see things clearly, use your self-awareness to intentionally set the past aside and take in a fresh perspective. Redirecting your attention preserves your energy. Self-awareness is noticing the rhythm of your thoughts, feeling when they are clear and when they are out of sync, knowing when to take them seriously and when to let them go. Not every thought is valuable. Most are just sounds of impulsive emotional reactions. Real maturity is observing your own inner turbulence and pausing before you project how you feel onto what is happening around you. Sometimes you need to move slowly so you can then move powerfully. The modern world is so fast-paced that you feel the pressure to keep up. Setting aside what everyone else is doing and moving at your natural speed will help you make better decisions and lift up your inner peace. When we travel inward, we may hit a particularly rocky layer of the mind, a sediment of conditioning that has been thickly reinforced. When we let go of the hardened inner layers, we often feel the impact of their release in our personal lives. The storms of yesterday or the heaviness of past moments rise to the surface. We may feel as though we're on the edge of turbulence and disharmony as we open ourselves up to deconditioning. Real growth is recognizing these moments and treating ourselves gently as the storms pass. To see your hidden patterns, you need to intentionally build self-awareness. Question your perception. Build a compassionate and honest internal dialogue. Dig deeper into what your real motivations are. And have the humility to know you can learn more. Self-awareness combined with action opens the door to real change. Wisdom is accepting that there are things you cannot force. People change when they are ready. Creativity moves at its own rhythm. Healing does not have a time limit. And love blooms when things align. You can just take the next few moments to allow everything you've heard today to settle. And anything you heard that felt helpful or really resonated with you, just letting those things be enhanced within you. Knowing that when something resonates, it's simply when we hear on the outside what a part of us knows to be true already on the inside. So letting that trust with yourself be enhanced a little bit more. And if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position at Heart Center. As you just once again remind yourself of this power that is constantly pumping life into you. The power of your own heart. And just letting yourself take a final deep breath into the body and letting yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of as you let your head gently bow. It's taking a moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.